Hi, I'm Michael Reardon. I'm Chief Executive Officer of HLA Data Systems. My background is I have a doctorate in genetics and my postdoctoral training is in immunology. I spent about 7 years in genomics before I went into molecular diagnostics. Molecular diagnostics specifically in the histocompatibility and immunogenetics space, so HLA, transplant diagnostics, where I came to HLA Data Systems. I work very closely with my colleague Colin Brack, who is a tech entrepreneur, and him along with one of our investors, Adam Day, founded HLA Data Systems when it was purchased from Barbara and Fred Ure, who created our core product about 25 years ago. I joined HLA Data Systems about 3.5 years ago. At the time, the chief investor and my colleague Colin Brack were looking for someone with a background in molecular diagnostics, but also a hard science background in immunogenetics. I met Adam Day, our chief investor, through a friend of mine who was CEO of another histocompatibility company. At that time, they were looking to grow the company and scale it, and they saw an opportunity to bring me in to provide that growth. And since I've joined, we've increased revenue substantially, we've increased our team significantly, and we are continuing to place people on our team and find ways to partner with other vendors in the space. When a transplant laboratory needs to type a donor and recipient to determine if they're a match for an organ or bone marrow transplant, they do a number of assays. Those assays get pulled into a software, and our solution allows for the information that goes into all of those softwares to come together into our core LIMS and then be transported to external registries or a hospital's EMR system, which is critical for that information to be clear and get to the transplant surgeons who are going to do these very important procedures. In the 3.5 years since I became CEO of HLA Data Systems, we as a team have doubled our annual recurring revenue and increased our employees by 25%. In the next year, we plan to grow our team by another 50%. We expect to grow our modules by another 50%, to have more analysis offerings to the histocompatibility space, and to really focus on bringing our products to international labs. Our leadership team is really excited to see our development team and commercial teams expand our product offerings and to see how those frame and shape the world of histocompatibility going forward. We're also excited to see what new partnerships we bring in to the company, because the spirit of a LIMS system is interoperability, and partnerships with all of these vendor assay companies is imperative to a LIMS system being successful. Our implementation procedure is broken down into a number of different steps. It starts with kickoff. We go on site and spend time with everyone in the laboratory. We learn what their SOPs are, what their protocols are. Oftentimes, they don't even know what to expect when they're bringing on an enterprise-level LIMS, so we work as consultants to help them customize their instance of mTilda for their lab. After that comes data migration, because they've been keeping all these records in other forms, and they need to get that into our database. Once that's complete, we do installation, customization, and training. And we have worked really hard to make this the most efficient and short amount of time possible. The most exciting thing about our business is going into these labs, meeting with directors, meeting with technologists, hearing about the experience of the patients at the hospital. Transplant diagnostics is a very important field. It's saving lives every single day, and there's so much innovation. Now we're seeing that swine organs can be transplanted into humans. That's incredible. A lot of the immunosuppressive drugs will not have to be used in the same way if this is successful. We're finding ways and innovating new ways in our software to facilitate this. So meeting with thought leaders in the space and learning how to adapt our software to the new and innovative needs, ultimately to extend human life and increase the quality of human health is the most exciting thing about our business. We like to work from a consultative standpoint. It can be a very long sales cycle when someone's looking to adopt a limb solution for their transplant laboratory. It can extend anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. We just try to stay engaged as much as possible with the directors of these labs to know that we're here at any point when they're ready to start implementing mTilda. When we look to partner with a transplant lab, we understand that there are plenty of technical stakeholders, financial stakeholders, other stakeholders, and this process can take a long time to get to the finish line. So we look to work with these customers specifically in setting up weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly meetings to start the scoping process and make them feel comfortable about bringing on an enterprise-level limb solution when they may not have experience ever doing this before. That gives them the confidence of working with us because they'll be working with us for a very long time during the horizon of our partnerships together and especially during implementation. But beyond that, with support. So starting these meetings before we even get a commitment to our software gives that confidence for them and us to have a long and healthy relationship. Managing an early stage company always has its challenges. It is a roller coaster, and we have managed it by focusing on our priorities, and those are customization, innovation, and support. And by having really close relationships with the directors and the technologists in our customer labs, that helps us to have wonderful references when the other labs that we're looking to get into need some advice on what solution to go with. So focusing on those main tenets have helped us manage and grow our company. Golden Section has been an excellent resource, not only for networking, but for support in so many strategic efforts that we're currently going through as an early stage company. They provide networking opportunities, they provide support through weekly meetings, they provide individuals with so much expertise in things that we have yet to experience. So from an educational standpoint, I have learned so much working with Golden Section to get to the goals that I want to achieve for HLA Data Systems. One of my favorite experiences with Golden Section is being invited to one of the partners' ranch, where the entire Golden Section team, along with leaders of a bunch of their portfolio companies, came together to work together, to network, and to enjoy time in nature. And it was so productive and so energizing. There have been plenty of opportunities for me to learn to be a more effective leader based on the experience that individuals at Golden Section have and have taught me. Also, their guidance and support has been extremely helpful. And it's increased our community at HLA Data Systems, which is very important to us. Leading an early stage software company is incredibly important to me. There are so many facets of it that speak to me, whether it's developing the careers of some of our younger team members, whether it's showing success, growing our company to a point where we can bring on new team members, where we can bring in more revenue for our investors, and where mostly we can just help increase the quality of human health through transplantation is what drives me and what is so important to me to be a leader of HLA Data Systems. Community is of the utmost importance to me. We have a very small team, and our team is our family. That community is incredibly important to the efficiency of our company. We don't have delineated jobs. We all do what's necessary to grow our company. HLA and histocompatibility has historically been a very tight-knit community because it had to be. We know everyone in the community, and everyone knows everyone in the community, whether it be going to our annual conferences or visiting each other's labs or sharing data because it's a very collaborative community. My favorite part about this leadership journey is getting to work with an incredible team and providing products to incredible directors and technologists who really care about human health and saving people's lives and extending people's longevity. That is the most rewarding part of being part of this community for me. I try to pursue balance by having a very technical side to myself and a very creative side. I got my doctorate in genetics. I have a very technical job and a technical mind, but a lot of the things I do outside of my job help keep me balanced. Doing as many activities as I can every day with my daughter, playing music, I'm a musician. I also design board games with my brother-in-law. Those creative outlets help me to balance the technical side of things that are intrinsic in running HLA Data Systems. My favorite trip was to Seoul, Korea. It was on a couple work trips for a previous company that I worked for, and I met a group of friends out there who are still my friends to this day, and I'm actually planning on hopefully visiting them next year. One of my closest friends, who is actually responsible for introducing me to Adam Day and for me ultimately getting this position, just moved back to New Zealand. And that is certainly on my bucket list of places to go visit in the near term. And I'm pretty excited about that.